I will call the Committee on Government Operations to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Each member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom, that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Kniezek?
Here.
Commissioner Clark-Coleman? Commissioner Clark-Coleman?
Here.
Okay, got you. Commissioner Basham?
Here.
Commissioner Killeen?
Here.
Chair Dobb?
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item.
B, Chair's remarks.
I have none. Next item.
C, approval of the March 10th, 2021 meeting minutes.
Move approval, Madam Chair. Colleen.
Support.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Killeen, support by Commissioner Clark-Coleman. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
D, unfinished business. There was none listed.
Okay, next item.
Item 1, under new business. Communication from Deputy Corporation Counsel forwarding the Department of Corporation Counsel settlement report for February 2021.
All right. I believe, so on this report, we had 0 settlements. Does anyone have any questions or discussion on this item?
Move to receive and file and forward to the commission. Support.
Right, I had a motion by Commissioner Killeen and it was supported, I'm sorry, who supported?
Basham.
Basham did, okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion carries.
Great report, Cheryl.
All right, thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of a retroactive 5-year contract with Golden Dental Plans.
Okay, I do see we have Gary Bingaman on the call with us. Would you like to speak briefly on this item?
I just appreciate still doing business with the county. We've been with you for 35 years or better, so I just appreciate the honor to still be here.
Thank you so much. Any commissioner questions or discussion?
Yes.
Move approval,
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
All right, Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. One thing, it's retroactive, so I always say something about retroactive contracts, but it also says there are 2 vendors, and in this way this is written, it says there are 2 vendors in question, or is it just one? It says a split between the two vendors.
Through the chair,
Morning.
this is Joe Slazak. The previous vendor, the other vendor is Delta Dental, which was approved at full board last week.
Okay, that cleans it up, because I was trying to read this and it's like, but it don't speak to the other vendor, and it's like, so just want to make sure that that A's are A's and B's are B's. Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, I'll second Commissioner Clark-Coleman's motion.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner Clark-Coleman, support by Commissioner Killeen. Any further questions or discussion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
Why,
Commissioner Basham.
why, if they've been with us for 35 years, why is it retroactive? It's routine contract.
Good afternoon. This is Claire Mason Lee, Director of Benefits and Disability Administration for Wayne County. Good afternoon, everyone. So Commissioner Basham, to your question, it's not because of their length of time that they have been a vendor for the county. They had to respond to a RFP, just like the other vendor. And both contracts, unfortunately, ended up being retroactive because of the contract negotiation that happens after the RFP is awarded. and waiting on certain documents to come back. And that happened with Delta Dental as well as with Golden. So they both had different contract duration times, meaning start dates, but that was the situation. So it's not because of the length of time that they have been working. They had to respond to an RFP. And so Delta Dental and Golden received the split in the contract, offering services to all of our county employees and retirees.
So I'll support it. That being a reason. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're all set, Commissioner Basham?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion and support. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
This is just such a national effort. There's so much money pouring into the Republican
I
Party.
hear a little feedback coming from
Oh,
someone.
Dave, mute yourself, Commissioner Knizek.
I took myself off mute so I could get ready to vote. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. We were just hearing you, that's all.
Commissioner Knizek,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Holman,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Chair Dobb,
yes. All right, motion passes. Thank you. Next item.
Item 3, requesting commission approval of retroactive modification 8 to a cooperative agreement with AT&T Corporation.
Okay, so this is for a contract for cell phones. I do have a question regarding the retroactivity on this item. Is there someone here to speak on that?
Hi, yes, this is Cheryl Reuter from Department of Information Technology.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Can you just explain why this is retroactive?
Yes, unfortunately, we were on a credit hold with AT&T last year, and so we were unable to get the documents that we needed to process the contract until we were able to get the Centrex and the VoIP contract passed last year to add funds to pay them. So once we were able to do that, then we were able to negotiate this contract.
Okay, what was the reason for the credit hold? Can you go into that a little bit more?
Yes, as we were going through the VoIP project to transition, we had to get funds to the correct contracts so that we could make payments because we're going through the VoIP migration. So once we were able to do that and get the bills paid, then we were able to get the credit hold lifted.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm a little new to this. So can you explain what the void?
VoIP with the phones.
Yeah.
The phone service that we're transitioning from one system to another.
Oh, okay, all right. I see Commissioner Killeen, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you very much. I see this as modification number 8 already, and this is going to extend the term of the contract to 2024, which sounds like a 3-year extension to me. So I want to understand where we are with this contract. When was it originally approved? What were those terms? Was it like a 3-year contract with 2 3-year options to renew? What was it at the beginning? Because what I'm eventually driving at is, I don't know if we need to, it's a cooperative agreement. I don't know, you need to know if we need to RFP this thing in the future. But what was the original contract? When did we start this? And what were the terms of that contract in terms of how long and how many renewals were allowed under that contract?
This is Cheryl. I just started working in contracts last year. According to the document that I have in front of me, I believe the contract started April 1st, 2018.
Is there any indication, was that a 3-year contract with 3-year options to renew? Or maybe commission staff can answer that.
Yes, hi, this is Chris Albrecht, Wayne County Commission Policy Staff. I believe our records indicate that originally this agreement with AT&T was a professional services contract. I'm looking at an analysis on my computer. It seems the first record we have of receiving it was for a retroactive extension number 1 to a 3-year contract with a 2-year option to renew. And this was back in 2013 that we received this first request for commission approval for this agreement for mobile phone services with AT&T. And I believe over time what happened is that it was changed from a professional services contract to a cooperative purchase agreement.
Yeah. Well, I see Ms. Carr from our fiscal staff has her hands up. Maybe she has, because I just don't want to be approving extensions when there's not an underlying contract that allows for that. So,
Mary, do you have something to add?
Yes, through the chair. So in my analysis, this actually started April 1st, 2009, when we entered into a participating addendum under the master agreement number 1523, which ran for 3 years through March 31st, 2012. That was for 2.6 million. And then on April 1st, 2012, we did Amendment 1. October 16th, 2012, we did another Amendment number 2, which didn't add funds. It was just change in terms of scope. And then it continued through all the way till currently now, which we did a 43-month, 11-day extension under this modification, and it total contract value totaled out to 7.3 million.
so this contract has been in existence since 2008, 2009?
2009. April
And
1st,
we have
2009.
and we have made 8 modifications to it. What were the terms of the contract? And
The term dates or the terms of what we were doing with the contracts?
what we're doing with the contract? It was originally a 3-year contract, and then we started doing all these amendments.
Correct. I don't have all that information in front of me, and I'm not sure if Chris does under his analysis. I just have the funding amounts under mine.
Yeah.
But I can pull you the information and
May I interject? I may be able to assist with that.
Huh.
This is Attorney Felicia. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon at this point. So Commissioner, what happens in Wayne County, and this is very common practice, we will have a contract, and let's say the initial contract is for 3 years with a 1-year option to renew. Once the original term has expired and the options have been exhausted, the county tends to continue to extend contracts without going out to bid or doing an additional solicitation process. So what happens, if you look at many of the contracts that come before you, you'll notice that we call them extensions. And so we just continue to extend the contracts without actually having options to renew that have been exhausted. Now, in the case of a contract like AT&T, it's possible that the extensions were because you don't have another vendor who can provide the service. So sometimes you do have situations where you're sort of caught in a loop with a particular vendor, but there are often times where we're not, and the department simply requests an extension, even though they have exhausted everything that was included in the original contract. So this would be one of those examples, though this one may be justified because, again, it's possible that AT&T could be the only vendor here, but it's a very common practice in Wayne County.
Yeah, and I saw, well, thank you very much for that, Council. And we do need to distinguish between those two, and not just routinely extend contracts when there's no term in the agreement for that. Does the folks from administration, you have anywhere else to go besides AT&T for this?
This is Cheryl. I can check back. I believe, as Felicia explained, this is probably a situation where they would be the only one to offer what we have, but I can certainly explore that.
Well, yeah, that might be water under the bridge by that time. But Madam Chair, I do think I am going to support this. I mean, the logic says we got nowhere else to go but AT&T. But I think this discussion is valuable in the sense of there's, as Council explained, right, there's numerous times where contracts just get extended when perhaps they should have gone for RFP instead. And so I'm very cautious on that that we do public contracting appropriately. And so I think going down the road, if we can distinguish between the two, what needs to be extended and what needs to be RFP'd and what the reason is. So it makes me a little bit nervous. I am going to support this today. I don't think there's anywhere else to go but AT&T. Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. That's it.
All right, thank you. Any other commissioner questions?
Did we get a motion on this one yet?
I don't believe so.
Move approval.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Basham.
Yes, thank you. I absolutely 120% agree with Commissioner Colleen. It's like, if they're the lowest qualified bidder, fine, but just because the county's done it a lot in the past doesn't mean that we should continue to do it in the future. And who knows who would have showed up? Maybe nobody, maybe 4 vendors, but we represent the taxpayers, and quite frankly, it says lowest qualified bidder. And if we're not bidding it out for 8 years, then we're not doing our job. So I put this right on the commission itself. So thank you very much.
Thank you. So we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Clark Coleman. Do I have support?
Support.
Support by Commissioner Basham. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for a vote?
Commissioner Kniezek,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen. Commissioner Colleen, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I took it off mute. Aye.
Chair Dobb,
Yes. Motion passes. Next item, please.
item 4, requesting commission approval of a cooperative purchase agreement with Oracle America.
All right. Is there anyone from the administration to talk about this item? I have a question regarding the number of licenses that we're purchasing and who will be using them.
Good afternoon. This is Stacy Johnson from the Department of Technology.
Welcome.
Yes, Madam Chair, there are going to be approximately 5,000 licenses for each specific application. As far as who's going to be using them, the specific departments was not, I wasn't given that information, but because it's for PeopleSoft, then I would have to say it's going to affect all of the departments within Wayne County.
Okay, so so this is 5,000 licenses, but this is not going to be for 5,000 employees because it could be for 5,000 different. I'm not sure if if this is making sense in my head. Is that, can you explain that a little bit more?
Yes, how it was explained to me is that these particular licenses were based upon the budget metric, and that information is coming from management and budget. And so because the county has agreed with Oracle to obtain so many licenses based upon the number of employees that we have, then Oracle therefore bills us for those licenses. Due to COVID-19, the number of employees dropped because of various layoffs throughout the county, but we were still obligated to pay for reaching that specific budget metric. So for example, if we had just say 6,000 employees at one point, but then due to COVID-19, that number may have dropped down to 4,000, we still are obligated to pay the 6,000 quantity because at one point we did have that number of employees. So this is what this is for. This is for to pay that number of licenses to make sure that Oracle is whole, and then to continue on with the correct number that we currently have now of employees based upon the budget metric.
Okay, so because we're not going to be using PeopleSoft for much longer, correct? Once we get our new ERP system up and running.
I believe that's correct.
Okay, so So then, it,
But then that's why this contract, it does end August the 28th of this year.
okay,
Determination will be made from that point if this needs to continue.
okay.
As
guess
it
I'm
stands
just-
now, this is a one-time purchase for this
Yeah.
particular contract.
I'm having trouble understanding why we need to buy more licenses for PeopleSoft if that's something we're phasing out.
Again, we have an obligation to Oracle based upon the budget metric that based upon the number of employees, then they would bill us a certain amount.
Okay,
We've hit that metric and then we exceeded that metric. And then, of course, like I said, due to COVID-19, there were a lot of layoffs. So now we're no longer exceeding that metric, but we're still obligated to pay the vendor.
okay. Mary, I see you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, through the chair. We will not be going off of PeopleSoft and into the new ERP until probably 2023. So we
Okay.
will still need to use the licenses for PeopleSoft and the JD Edwards for the reporting.
Okay. All right, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Any commissioner questions on this item? Commissioner Basham, did you have something?
No.
Oh, okay, I just saw you unmuted yourself. Okay, do I have a direction?
Do you have what?
A direction? Does anyone want to approve this item?
Oh, you want a motion?
Yes, please.
Move approval.
Support.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Commissioner Clark Coleman and support by Commissioner Basham. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll for a vote?
Commissioner Kenizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Colleen,
Aye.
Chair Dobb,
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, please.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
Okay, I have none. Next item.
Public comments.
Did we receive any emails?
No, we have not received any emails.
Okay, thank you. Will you please unmute all of the lines? We are going to unmute everyone, so if you've got background noise going on, just mute yourself. Is there anyone from the public who would like to make a comment at this time?
Yes, Gary Bingaman from Golden Dental. Again, I would just like to thank the commission for supporting us as usual, and we're always there for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else from the public who would like to make a comment? Anyone from the public wishing to make a comment? All right, hearing none. Next item, please.
Adjournment.
Hello.
Support.
All right, we have a motion and support. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Madam Chair.